What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to a Casually FC React stream. I'm accompanied by Real Chris, Oliver, and myself, Marshalldbdx. Before we go ahead and start this stream off, make sure to do what you always do, which is come on in and smash up the like buttons, please, as it helps out the channel with the algorithm, especially in these hard times of international break, where news and content can get a little bit stale. But we're trying to be here and keeping it fresh for you guys. So in a way to show your appreciation, be sure to smash up the like button. Also, hit the bell notification so you are notified whenever we do go live. Be sure to also subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are on our way to 2.3 subscribers. So if you want to help us get to that, it would be awesome. And we're also on our way to 3K. So let's hit 2,300 and then slowly but surely make our way over to 3K. Also, check out the links in the description below for everyone's content, as well as Ahmed's channel, who's trying to get to 1K. So help him out if you haven't done so already. Actually, you know what? Don't help him out. He's not here. So when he shows up here, then you can go check it out. Be sure to check out the links below for all that stuff. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think about everything and anything that we're going to be talking about. Eden Hazard's retirement. Also, Paul Pogba testing positive for testosterone, which we'll discuss. And then, ladies and gents in the chat, big up to everyone in the chat, and be sure to check out the memberships if you haven't done so already. We have 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Very entry level. You get emojis at that 99p entry and a bunch of cool stuff to help you enjoy the chat experience over on YouTube a little more. But yeah, guys, so this news has happened recently. I wanted to react to both of them, and I figured, you know what better time than Wednesday to actually do this and see what we think about it and overall have a discussion on both the topics that we have. So let's go ahead and start things off with the news that came out yesterday, which is Eden Hazard retires from football. So I have a few tweets for you guys before we go ahead and discuss relating to the topic. So let me go ahead and pull this up right now. Boom, boom, and boom. All right, let's read this first tweet. Fabrizio Romano tweeting, Eden Hazard announces his retirement from professional football. And this is Eden Hazard's quote. You must listen to yourself and say stop at the right time. After 16 years and more than 700 matches played, I have decided to end my career as a professional footballer. I was able to realize my dream. I have played and had fun on many pitches around the world. During my career, I was lucky to meet great managers, coaches, and teammates. Thank you to everyone for these great times. I will miss you all. I also want to thank the clubs I have played for. LOSC, wait, what's the actual, that's an acronym,
Lil,
right? What's
Lil.
the actual, Lil, okay.
Say Lil. Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it. I'm not used to, I'm not used to the acronym. Lil, Chelsea, Real Madrid. Thanks for the RBFA for my Belgian selection. A special thank you to my family, my friends, my advisors, and the people who have been close to me in good times and bad. Finally, a huge thank you to you, my fans, who have followed me for all these years and for your encouragement everywhere I have played. Now is the time to enjoy my loved ones and have new experiences. See you off the field soon, my friends. Little bit of a heartfelt message to everyone there. Eden Hazard was not convinced by approaches from MLS and Saudi clubs in the last 4 months, as he was already thinking of retirement. Hazard decided to try a new chapter in his life. And good. It's interesting to hear he did have offers from MLS and Saudi. He just opted to not do it. And then the other
He
tweet
really
here
should have
is,
Saudi money though.
it's up to him. He doesn't want to play football anymore, man.
Yeah.
Eden Hazard and Chelsea. So 352 appearances, 110 goals, 92 assists. Crazy. I won 2 Premier Leagues, won an FA Cup, won a League Cup, won a UEFA Europa League. Won the UEFA Europa League twice. Chelsea Player of the Year in 2014, 15, 17, and 19. Chelsea Player of the Year 2015 and 19. Chelsea Goal of the Season in 2015-16 versus Tottenham. Also the Goal of the Season in 2016-17 versus Arsenal, and Goal of the Season in 2018-19 versus Liverpool. PFA Player of the Year 2015. Premier League Player of the Season 2015. FWA Player Footballer of the Year 2015, PFA Premier League Team of the Year 2013, 14, 15, 17 rather. PFA Young Player of the Year 2014, Belgian Player of the Year 2017, Best Belgian Player Abroad 2017. Holy crap. What a gem of a player this guy was. What a career he's had. And it's sad to see it go the way it's gone. You know, we talk about Aspie last season, how he was on a decline. It's almost, you know, sad to see how Aspie is nearing, I mean, he's still playing, but it's nearing the end of his career and the crazy decline he's had. But I think none compared to the decline that Eden Hazard has had in the last 4 years of his career, I would say, or 5 even. It's sad to see it end this way. I mean, I'm glad he had a fantastic season and fantastic, you know, career at Chelsea. But you almost wish that he had taken the Saudi money or the MLS money and maybe, you know, kind of went out the way Bale did, like at least on a high. Like, I mean, Bale was doing really good at Inter Miami for the little bit he was there, and then, you know, retires. I don't know. That's I mean, that's a little bit of my 2 cents on this. Guys, Chris, we'll start with you. What do you think about this whole situation?
I was gonna say, yeah, like the whole list of like Eden Hazard, it speaks for itself as well. Like he's been player of the year most. I think honestly, like pretty much up there, player of the year or every year, or like, you know, high up there, like, you know, like second or third, because he's been our best player, and the thing is, he stuck with Chelsea through thick and thin. He stuck through the good times. He stuck through the bad times. Because let's face it, he's played through some bad teams as well. Under like Conte's team, like it wasn't that great. Even Sarri's team, it really wasn't that great of a team either. Still then, and he stuck with Chelsea. He helped us win many trophies, and he obviously been seeing a lot of like Liverpool fans obviously shouting Salah, you know, better career, better player. Like you can speak for itself as when like players like obviously Henry speaks on highly on Hazard. Like Henry said, he's an amazing dribbler. He can literally take on like the whole like team basically in his own way, and obviously like create something out of that out of nothing. You hear like Klopp, you know, praises him massively. You hear of like Pep. Pep says he's one of the best players in the world, like at the time as well. When he's in the Premier League, you see Jose Mourinho say, obviously his famous quote, I love actually, if you're in love with football, you should be in love with Eden Hazard because he's that type of player. Like even Jamie Carragher, like he spoke on him. Pogba said he's one of the best players. Messi said he's one of the best players in the world as well. Like the guy is unreal. Like I think he's like obviously me obviously watching Chelsea my whole life, the most talented player I've ever seen come to Chelsea. One of the most important players as well who's came to Chelsea. He's definitely top 5 player of all time, I think, at Chelsea. I think that goes without a doubt. Like he's done so much for the club. Like I couldn't thank that guy enough because I bought his shirt many times as a kid as well, and as a younger adult as well. Like, you know, I can't think of enough good words to say about Eden Hazard. He never really put a foot wrong, really, to be honest, except for that maybe one-off season with Chelsea. But like anything but that, he's been golden for Chelsea, and I couldn't thank him enough. And you know, like what's really sad as well, like he's 32 years old now. He's 32 years old. So, and obviously him retiring early, people say, oh, he didn't obviously work out enough, or he didn't like train hard enough, and that is true. He wasn't a hard trainer, I agree, but like don't put a little bit of context into it as well. Why the injuries could have happened as well, because in the Premier League he didn't get protected enough. Let's be real, he got kicked the shit out of his ankles over the years. The referees didn't protect him enough, like stuff like that. That's another reason why he sadly retired as well this season. This year. He's retired too early for me, but honestly, I don't think we'll ever get another Eden Hazard. Like we won't get another Messi, we won't get another Ronaldo, we won't get another even Neymar. I don't think. There'll be all different type of players, but you won't get another Eden Hazard, and I just can't thank that guy just enough to just join Chelsea. We're lucky enough to have him for like 7 good years. Yeah, I think that's my 2 cents on him.
I mean, obviously we're going to discuss this a little more.
There's so much more I could say about that guy.
But Oliver, what are your thoughts on the whole Eden Hazard retiring? Was it expected? Did you think he was going to go another season in Saudi or MLS? Like, tell me what you think, man.
Hazard's better than Bale.
I don't. I don't know if I necessarily expected Hazard to retire or not. I wanted him to, though, because it became obvious, very quickly that it just wasn't going to work out at Real Madrid. Ever since that tackle from Meunier that did him in, and his body broke, and he's been picking up injuries ever since. And as great as it is to see him on the pitch, and just seeing Eden Hazard brings joy to me. It brings joy to all of us, because he's just such a humble guy. You even see it off the pitch. He's just such a joker. But he gets on the pitch and he just brings that imagination to the game. He can make something out of nothing. But I don't like it when players prolong their career and just turn into a shell of themselves. It's almost like if Hazard went to the MLS or to Saudi Arabia, it's like he's a parody of himself, and I don't want to see that. If I see Eden Hazard, I want to see prime Eden Hazard, dribbling and confident and with his head up, playmaking, scoring goals. So if anything, I'm more relieved than anything, because now that his career's over, you're not prolonging the end, and you're not giving rivals more of a chance to slander your legacy and really try and rewrite history, which a lot of that is happening, and it's a shame. But like Chris said, I'm just so thankful for him. He's the guy that made me fall in love with football, so I can't thank him enough for that. He was fantastic at Chelsea. As much as he might have said a few times he wanted to leave for Real Madrid, but he never showed it on the pitch. He was always 100% committed. He would put the team on his back when we needed him to. And, that is, you can't put a price on that. So, just massive big ups to him. And, I hope he enjoys the rest of his days out of football.
I was going to say, there's something else about, if you actually go to a live game and lucky enough to watch Eden Hazard, there's something different just watching Eden Hazard on that ball. I've been watching on that ball. I just say, how does no one tackle him? I see 3-4 guys on him, and he's just somehow the smallest little gap, and he just gets out without even really getting a touch on him. They don't even get a touch on the guy, and he just gets through. I didn't understand it. He was our Lionel Messi. I'm not saying obviously he's on the level of Lionel Messi. Messi's on a different planet to him still, but I will compare him to people like Messi, because he is a very good dribbler, and what is Messi? Another very good dribbler, and who can do create stuff out of nothing. It's one of those things I love about Eden Hazard. Unreal player. And so many people try to compare Sanchez and all these players, even Di Maria, when he went to the Premier League. Oh, he's better than Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard always came out on top. He always did.
So I hate to admit this, and for those of you who have been long-time watchers of the channel, you guys already know that after post 2011, post that Man United slip up in the Champions League final, I kind of just fell out of consistently following Chelsea. So I was out of the loop for a long while when it came to Chelsea, just because life took over. And to be honest, unlike other sports, football is one of those sports that you need to sit down there for, an hour, 45 minutes at a time, almost 2 hours out of your day to just watch.
2 hours almost, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to make time for these things. So that's why, when you guys ask me, oh, did you see the United game? Did you see the Spurs game, the Arsenal game? A lot of the times I tell you the same exact thing. I only make time for Chelsea. That's it. I really only watch Chelsea. If I would need to watch any other type of football, I'm watching highlights. But I will say this, when it comes to Eden Hazard, I could recognize that this player, despite not being consistently following Chelsea, I did watch a game from time to time. And I did happen to work at a restaurant that my manager was a Chelsea fan, funny enough. And he would put the games on the TV at the bar. And I would try to watch where I could. And despite not knowing what the team was, I knew Terry wasn't there anymore. I knew Drogba, Lampard had gone, and Maluda, and all those players that I grew up loving. Hazard was that one player that when he got the ball, almost like what Chris said, there's an aura to this guy. You could tell
that's a real aura, by the way. No fake
this
aura.
Guy, it's the same aura you got whenever you saw when Cristiano Ronaldo was up and coming, right? It's the same exact aura you got. Whoa, this kid is this guy right here is the guy. He is the team. He's that backbone. He's the one that's gonna win you the game. that's the aura you got. And you could see by the way he would dribble, by the way he controlled the ball, by the way he just maneuver around the pitch, maneuver through players and defenders. Like this guy made it look easy. And I remember I even asked my manager, like, who is that player right there? This guy. Like, I remember seeing Mata too. Mata stood out for me as well. But like, I remember seeing this player and I'm like, who is this guy? Hazard? That's his name? Yo, this guy is good. This guy's really good. And I wish I got to see more games with Eden Hazard because it would have been such a treat to watch him play. Unfortunately, I left Chelsea and I came back to Chelsea exactly during that time period that we had Hazard. So it's unfortunate. I can't really speak much on Hazard, but
I was going to say,
just looking at the stats, you could tell this guy is a fucking gem of a player. You know what I mean?
it's like with England, obviously football is like a massive culture in England, and I'm just in America. Like time zone is a big difference in time zone as well. With
that's
football.
Another thing too. That's a big one. Yeah.
And obviously now you're making obviously time for like Chelsea and everything. If with the tough times as well now, you really missed the golden era of like Eden Hazard as well. Like I'm sure you watched loads of highlights, of course, of him and stuff like games. Yeah, it's stuff like that. Like is a big factor probably why you didn't always watch every game. It's tough to like when you're. This is why it's tough for like international fans like Australia is quite bad. I know that, and obviously America and like other places like that. It's very tough as well. But yeah, this guy was like worth to make time really for me. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to miss a game of him.
I can 100% understand. And also the other thing being that, like, like you said, the time differences, the time zone stuff, that always got in the way to a certain extent. Also, like, where you were going to watch it. I think even at a time, too, like, I didn't have, like, the channel I needed to watch it. There was a transitionary period where, like, it went from Fox Sports here in the United States to, God, I don't even know, like, NBC maybe or ESPN. I don't know. Like the Premier League cable plan and TV package was so confusing here in the US. But regardless of that, like I did miss out on a lot of Chelsea in that time, and I missed out on,
I loved it when was it FA Cup or Cup? I think it's FA Cup with that fucking ball boy, where he was planning to fucking waste time.
Oh, the one against Swansea.
Even as I said, you ain't getting no special treatment from me.
Oh,
one kick.
Have you seen that, Marshall?
Yeah, I remember that.
He got red carded.
I remember even to my mum said, "You should never kick a kid like that." I said, "Well, that boy had it coming, man." I defended him as a even the owner of Swansea, who was his son, he said he was embarrassed for his own son because of what he did. Like, of course, that was a great moment of Eden Hazard, even though he got sent off, but it's worth it to see that kick.
But obviously, like, I'm not going to just have the stream just to reminisce over Eden Hazard. I also want to have some thorough discussion on what could have been different, what could have changed and stuff. Because otherwise, this isn't a Casually FC stream. It's just any other stream. Which, by the way, smash up the like buttons if you haven't done so already. Because you are here at Casually FC. You're here because you want something unique and different than what every other content creator gives you over in the Chelsea world. So I would want to say... do you guys think that him staying at Chelsea would have changed his fate?
No.
His fate of injuries? Oh, go on, Oliver.
Yeah, if it's his fate in terms of injuries, I don't think so. Because, like Chris said in the beginning, the amount of punishment that he endured, all the tackles, well, not the tackles, just the fouls, the kicks, the lack of protection from the referees, that punishment doesn't just go away. That adds up over time. And we saw it at Real Madrid. It just kind of... his body just expired and it broke. I don't think that was avoidable, especially when, and you got to factor in as well. Hazard went to a less physical league. He went from the Premier League to La Liga. So him staying in the Premier League, his body would have broken even sooner than it did. So I don't think it changes a single thing. I mean, Chelsea fans can obviously have their sentiment about it, and they can have their superstition that, if he stayed at Chelsea, the footballing gods would have blessed him. I just don't think it's the case. Like I said, when your body takes that much, at some point it is going to fail you.
I was gonna say, Marshall, I did send you on Discord a picture of Eden Hazard's ankles. I'm not sure if you could share it from here.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Basically, like, you see Eden Hazard, like, they will literally cut into him, like, studs and everything, cut his socks up and, like, make his ankles bloody. I just remember one of the games, and I think that was pretty much the same game with the picture I showed you. is where I just see his ankles and blood and everything because they just keep fouling the guy. Yeah, like he endured a lot of like tackles, and I think it's Jose Mourinho who said, no, yeah, it was Jose Mourinho. He said on the lines, I think, basically, if the referees don't protect Eden Hazard, you don't get an Eden Hazard one day. And now we are age 32, he is not here because I think that is a big factor why he's gone. Not because, mainly because of like stuff like he didn't train hard enough. Because I think there's plenty of players who didn't train hard enough who lasted like.
But Chris, it wasn't just that. You know, his diet was horrific as well. Like he just lived life pretty much. You know, he lazed about. He played Mario Kart before going out to train before the game. He loved burgers, but that was him, and that's what makes it.
I don't know how old Luke Shaw is, but Luke Shaw's even worse at food. I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure Luke Shaw's gonna last a lot longer because he didn't have to like get tackled so many times into the ankle. I do agree, Oliver. His lifestyle wasn't always the most strict. He isn't strict on himself. I think he could have actually won Ballon d'Ors if he was actually more. I don't know what the word really is. Like dedicated, I guess. Maybe you could use the word for it. To win a Ballon d'Or, because I think he is a worthy Ballon d'Or winner if he actually puts his mind to it.
Well, yeah, totally. Because like, and this is one famous thing about Hazard. He didn't have the drive to be the best in the world. He just did it. Yeah, that's the word. Like he just had a raw, innate ability to create magic on the football pitch. And this is why, you know, as much as it was his dream to go to Real Madrid, him taking that 7 shirt, you know, him being the successor to Ronaldo was probably the worst thing that could have ever happened to him. Because he is the opposite of Ronaldo, not in terms of how good he is, but in terms of the mentality and the way he looks after his body, the nutrition and the workouts. He was nothing alike to Cristiano Ronaldo. So for him to take that number 7 shirt and for him to go there for an upfront fee of £90 million, you know, that placed a lot of expectations on him that he was never going to meet just because of who he is.
Yeah, no, like. The drive, I do actually agree with that because, but I don't really mind it. I still think I think we all know like Hazard still had dedication and drive to make it as a really good footballer. It's just that extra little push to be Ballon d'Or winner because he was definitely the ability he had is definitely good enough to win the Ballon d'Or. Actually, I don't know because he's not that type of guy who needs to always score goals to be good. Like if he started in the Spanish league over Chelsea, I think it might have been a different story. He might actually won a Ballon d'Or because Spanish league they protect you a bit more. You get more goals and assists for sure in that league. In his prime, there's no doubt about that. So maybe he would have won if he actually joined Real Madrid or something straight away. But
yeah, no, perhaps. But also,
it's very hard to win the Ballon d'Or in the Premier League.
You know, I agree. But one other thing as well, you talk about him going to Spain now or him playing in Spain. Another thing to that is that, let's be honest, Chelsea failed him. Some of the players that we put around him. You know, there's a picture floating around on Twitter where we had a lineup under Conte in either 2017 or 2018, and you had like Morata and Bakayoko and Drinkwater and Zappacosta and Gary Cahill past his prime in that lineup. And go on, Marshall. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that's something that's always blown my mind is that like you had a player that you clearly knew was one of the best in the world, and the best lineup that he ever had was the Jose, the second coming of Jose.
It was either the Jose one or the Conte one. It was either Jose or it was the Conte 1.0 where we had Pedro and Costa in the front line and
Fabregas,
you know, Kante and Matic.
Didn't always play though, but
Kante and Matic more so.
Yeah, that was a good team, but yeah, the Jose second coming, that team Jose built.
That was phenomenal. We were top on match day 1 and we stayed there the whole season. It's quality.
Yeah, it just blows to mind that you only had that team for 1 season and you couldn't continue or build off of it. Like that's such a failure from Roman and Marina's point of view. Real quick before you go, Chris, in my opinion, because like you look at the club now, right? You look at the team that we have, like it's okay on paper. It hasn't been looking that great, right? But when you look at like statistically the raw talent that's there, you look like you have a powerhouse of a team. And I wouldn't even mind if we had the current team that we had now with the talent that is gonna come of this team, this raw talent, and put it with Hazard. That is to me more backing Hazard and building a team around Hazard than what we've seen in the past Conte 2.0, with oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. The one that like Asari, so on and so forth. You know, like it's kind of baffling that Marina and the board never really.
Right, this is what the board
back
kept
this
doing,
player.
Marshall. Every time we won like the Premier League, the board just did nothing next season. It's like, yeah, we don't need to improve, and then we have a bit of a dip, or a big dip, like after we won the Premier League with Jose, we had a massive dip, and then we start spending again. It's just like every time we win the Premier League or something like a big trophy, we just didn't spend. And I was gonna say in the Sarri, like it's weird actually, because I felt like Sarri actually pretty much got the best out of Eden Hazard in a way, because even the GA was like really up there. Like that's Hazard's ever best GA season, and he's still very good on the ball. Obviously,
he was involved in roughly half of our goal involvements. He was involved in half of our goals in that entire season. Just to put that into perspective, you know, literally, if you take him out, that's half of our goals gone.
Why is
what in the world that picture is?
Oh, sorry.
Hamza. I couldn't get his name out. I was thinking, who was that?
What were you saying, Oliver?
It's a picture from Hassam's the stream last night where we cooked the Man City fan Hamza for about an hour and a half.
Oh,
wait,
nice.
you cooked the Man City fan with?
Yeah, when do we ever get the chance to do that?
That is true. Yeah,
very
City
often.
actually lost 2 games in a row. That's rare. That's rare.
3. They lost the League Cup
Exactly.
as well.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, they lost 2 league games consecutively for the first time since like late 2018. It's been like nearly 5 years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's an incredible run.
Hazard is a free agent, but not anymore. Sadly, you could have maybe picked up Eden Hazard Pep and revived Eden Hazard somehow.
Oliver, what were you saying before?
I was, sorry, I was just saying about,
Fine.
just to put him into perspective with that Sarri season, he was involved in half of our goals. So take him out, and that's half of our entire output from that season gone. That's the level we're talking about here.
Yeah, it just, again, it blows my mind that this team never really, outside of the Mourinho season, and I'll throw Conte in there, even though, like, for me, it seemed Conte was kind of working with whatever tools he was given, more so than he got to build a team around Hazard, and more so working off of the scraps of what Mourinho left over, right? It just blows my mind. But Andrew, now that you just. I was going to say, Andrew, now that you just tuned in, I'll ask you the same question. Do you think Hazard's fate would have changed if he had just stayed at Chelsea?
Yes, I do. I
Right.
don't know if the injury's going to finally caught up with him. I don't know about that. But yeah, I do. It's hindsight, though, isn't it? It's hindsight. It's the thing. Now we know. Yeah, he should have stayed, but you can't. He was very respectful in the terms of, we know he wanted to leave, but he wasn't like sitting out and refusing to play and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and we got a good deal in the end for him. If you think about it, he was still being paid, still getting payments from him up until 2 years ago. Or a year ago, actually. Champions League.
Yeah, because they won a Champions League, yeah.
What I do like is some opposition fans say they don't rate Hazard that highly, but every international break his name's always brought up. You know what I mean? Every international break there's a debate. Oh, there's a debate. They literally only played they crossed over 2 seasons. The 17-18 season, Salah was the best player, and 18-19 Hazard was the better player. They literally only crossed over that. And everyone going about longevity, everyone forgets about Hazard's start at Lille. You know what I mean? He's been playing since he's like 16 years old. You know what I mean? He was a captain by he was like 19. He led them to a league title. Do you know what I mean? He got like his first 100 games I don't know, 200 games for Lille. He's got over 50 goals and over 50 assists. So it's insane. I mean, I've always said this about Hazard. Do you know the issue of Hazard? The biggest issue I had with him, he wasn't selfish enough. Do you know what I mean? He'd always be the guy to look for the pass. first before the finish, and it's like
Yeah.
someone said it earlier. When you look about the players we surrounded him by, he should have just been more selfish because those players weren't good enough to finish off his passes. You know what I mean? Everyone go, "Oh, we got 92 assists." If he had better players around him, I swear he would be up near 150 assists by now. He'd be up there.
Yeah,
He should be over 100. He should be well over 100 assists for Chelsea.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
mad. And everyone would go, "Yeah, but he had up and down seasons. The only down season he ever had was the 15-16 season."
That's
And
the worst
arguably,
season.
if you actually look at the end of that season, he scored some banging goals at the end of that season.
He got goal of
only
the year season.
Not only one against Spurs, but look at the goal he scored. He scored a couple against Bournemouth, and he scored that one against Liverpool. Don't let Liverpool fans live. The reason Liverpool fans get on him is because he owned them. The way Drogba owned Arsenal, Hazard owned Liverpool. Home and away, he owned Liverpool. It wasn't even close.
Do you remember the one where, obviously, it's the famous one, really, I would say. Obviously, I think you would definitely remember, of course. The one, is it the Carabao Cup where,
18-19, right?
Yeah, we was just looking awful in general, and then Eden Hazard came on, just did that, like, great goal, and just, like, making Henderson foul him a lot. Well, he's getting fouled a lot in that game. And he just stopped him. Did we win it 2-1? I think it's 2-1. I can't remember the result. I know
2-1,
it was 2-1, yeah.
Yeah, Eden Hazard, that goal was just... I don't know if that's our goal of the season again that season. I'm not
sure.
Sure.
That did win our goal of the season. It was either going to be that one or the one against West Ham in the Premier League where he dribbled through their whole defence. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that was his last goal. It was his last goal at the Bridge. It was his last ever goal at the Bridge.
No. His last goal at the Bridge was the Frankfurt penalty, wasn't it?
No, I think the West Ham one was after. No, I don't count that as a goal. Like that.
Technically, fair enough. I don't know.
Open play goal.
If it was a open play penalty, no problem. You know what I mean? Like,
fair enough. Okay. What a goal to end it on, though. You know.
I was gonna say, it's what I love about Eden Hazard as well. It's like the amount of ankles he broke, like on the pitch, like players wise. The amount of times I slip on their ass. Like you remember, one of the most famous one probably he did is the Zabaleta one against obviously who was it? It was Man City. Yeah, it was Man City. It wasn't West Ham. It was Man City, and yeah, he just like literally went left, right, and then did the splits and fell on his ass. Like he did to so many people. The one against Arsenal, that guy did.
Yeah, the Arsenal one, 1v5. Oh my God.
I love watching players slipping on their ass. Like every time they try tackling Eden Hazard, they fall down. He's not weak either, Eden Hazard. He was actually a strong guy. He wasn't that weak.
But yeah, players like him, players like Aguero, center of gravity, so in their legs and their butt. You know what I mean? It was like they couldn't get shook off the ball. They just couldn't. It wasn't like that. So they had to be fouled. But he was, don't listen. Liverpool fans that have got this bug up their ass about some of them got their bug up their ass about Hazard for some, like trying to compare him to Salah. The beauty of that conversation is that they actually don't play in the same position. You know that Hazard's more off the left, and you could actually have them in the same team.
He sits a lot deeper than Salah too.
Yeah, we could have had them in the same team, but Salah wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Let's face it, right? Let's face it, and I don't care what anyone says. Salah has been great consistent for the past 6 years. But when he first signed for Liverpool, 37 million, everyone laughed. Everyone laughed when Liverpool signed him for 37 million. Even some Liverpool fans, they laughed. Why are we signing this guy? He's a Chelsea reject. He's only doing it for Roma and Fiorentina. I don't even know why it's a contrast, really. It's just a favourite thing to do. But Hazard is a genius, a joy to watch. And personally, he's in my top 5 of all time Chelsea players.
Yeah, I
think
he's
in my
fair.
top 5.
I was gonna say, I think he definitely has to be like definitely conversation for every most Chelsea fans who's watched him. They'd be top 5 or like be in the top 5 because like I think he's definitely the most talented player I've seen like come at Stamford Bridge.
I mean, it's him or Zola, I think.
Yeah, but I seen Zola, but I mean live and stuff. Sorry.
I think for this generation, the last 10 years, he would definitely be in everyone's top 5, maybe even top 1 for some of this generation. I can totally understand that. But for me, overall, because I'm a bit older than you guys, seen pre-Roman stuff. To me, the greatest player I've ever seen go is Zola, and he's the closest thing to Zola. He's the closest thing to Zola I've ever seen.
You have more than so you can't compare him to Zola.
Now, even Zola said, like, and this is probably Zola just being humble, but Zola said that Hazard's better than him. You know, high praise.
He's just humble.
Yeah.
I'll just say, if players like Zola and Bergkamp, if they were around right now, they'd absolutely destroy this league.
Zola typically, we just saw him in that Legends match.
Zola
still got it. He still got it, man.
A technical ability.
He's
Beautiful assist.
He's unbelievable. But yeah, and someone said earlier, we failed Hazard. We absolutely failed him in the players we put around that 15-16 window. Every time I think about that 15-16 window, it just annoys me. Absolutely annoys me. We got Pedro fine, but my God, man. Djiboji, what his name is, and fucking Michael Hector. Jesus Christ almighty. Matt Miazga, Baba Rahman.
Can you guys imagine Eden Hazard under Lampard?
What?
Can you imagine Eden Hazard under Lampard? Because let's face it, when Hazard left,
Lampard would have dropped him because he doesn't have work rate. Just look at how he treated João Felix.
I don't think Lampard's that stupid.
No, he wouldn't.
Maybe.
I know, I understand Lampard isn't a great manager, but there's no way in how he.
This is Marshall. This is the same guy that got rid of David Luiz, who at the time was our only experienced centre back because he disagreed over game time.
Oliver, if he actually dropped Eden Hazard, he would. I know it's Frank Lampard, but he would get hate from even maybe the match-going fans from doing that because
probably I can see that.
Obviously, Lampard's our most maybe our most loved player, but obviously Eden Hazard is one of our most loved players as well. And I just think Lampard's a work rate merchant. You know, we saw it, we've seen it. He loves that, and he's been willing to bench talented players. He's been willing to get rid of experienced players over disagreements before. I'm not going to give Lampard the benefit of the doubt. There, it is what it is.
I don't know, man. I think you have to, just because even like Jorginho, when he didn't like Jorginho, he wanted Conte in that Conte. He brought Jorginho back towards the end of his tenure. So I think as much as we want to say Lampard was stubborn, Lampard didn't know what he was doing. He did change his mind from time to time. He wasn't a good manager. I'm not trying to say he was. I'm not. It sounds like I'm saying he was a good manager. No.
Wait, who's a good manager? Sorry, I missed what manager.
Lampard. We're talking about Lampard.
Lampard wasn't a good manager.
Chris is demonstrating.
I messed something, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
But anyways, regardless, I think he would have played him. But I did want to continue on in this conversation. I know, Oliver, you mentioned earlier about the training that Hazard had, and how you're of the belief that even
Marshall, just quickly, I'd broaden that to lifestyle.
No, I get that. But going off of that, I know we brought up you're the belief that even if he had stayed at Chelsea, the injuries would have come. He would have still broken apart like he had and fallen apart like he has. Well, the thing that I kind of don't believe that. Part of me thinks that. Think of what you will of the Chelsea medical staff. I feel like at that time. They were working miracles with a lot of players. And I'm not going to also sit here and pretend like Eden Hazard was the only player of his kind that was getting tackled as much as he was. You had your Cristiano Ronaldos, you had your Messis. These are players that always, at least, Ronaldo at United, very dribble heavy, very close to the ball at all times, had to be fouled in order to get the ball off him. Messi, especially, but these players went on to have fruitful careers. And then you look at more recent examples like a Jack Grealish, another player who gets fouled very often, I'm sure has the same exact issues when it comes to being fouled like Eden Hazard had. But I'm almost inclined to say, do you guys think that because of Hazard's lack of discipline is kind of what led to this decline that he had so sharply once he went to Real Madrid? And when I talk about discipline, I mean discipline in training. I mean,
you spelled it out there. You compared it to Ronaldo and Messi, and Ronaldo in particular. He is just an absolute freak. Like, he is like, if you wanted to make a footballer in a laboratory, that's what would come out. You know, he is just the fittest. He is, you know, he is the fastest, the strongest. You know, his body.
For that, though, Oliver. You know.
Yeah. But that, I mean, it's because of the way he looked after himself and how his drive to be the best in the world pushed him to go all these lengths to prolong himself. And we see him here. You know, granted, he's not playing top level football anymore, but he's still playing at 38. He was in the Premier League at 37. So that just speaks for itself, really. You know, it's that drive and it's that willingness to look after yourself. And Hazard made that choice, and you know, I'm not going to beat him over the head with it. He made that choice, and you know, because that's the way he wants to live his life. So be it. You know, and he was still a great player. It's just one of those things where it's like, and in a positive way, it's like a what if. You know, like, he was great, but he could have been up here. You know?
You guys could also make the argument that there are defenders that, you know, obviously it's a different position. The amount of running that is required from a winger and an attacker is totally different than one of a defender. But like, you look at Thiago Silva's, you look at the John Terry, how long he lasted in his career, and so on and so forth. Maldini, you know, you look at these players that are defenders, and you know, defenders have to be very physical in their positions. They have to take a brunt of tackles and all that kind of stuff. They last.
The only
long,
thing they don't do as much
know?
as Marshall is running up and down that wing, like all
Yeah. Obviously, that takes
That's
a toll.
the only thing. And I was gonna say, like, I won't really blame. Like, I would only blame like a 20-ish% or so around that area, maybe 30, of like this lifestyle, like his eating habits, his training habits, or whatever, right? But there's definitely other accounts, like Andrew started off with. He started at a young age, 16 years old, carrying that little team.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor.
Like, he probably, I don't know if it's burnt out, just his legs just gave up at the end, basically. Like, I think that's how sad.
Well, you got to remember, it's like you said, Chris, is the style of his position. You know, the amount of times he has to pivot on his ankles. You know, that surely that takes a toll on you. You know, that, you know, you're pivoting on an ankle. The amount of force that puts on you, and you know,
that's where, like, obviously gaining weight and running, it doesn't help. I will say,
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't actually help your ankles in that way. So I think as a whole collective, like in his own like little things, like the fouls he endured, how young he started, and his eating habits. Like, but if people actually just purely blame his eating habits and obviously his training is just clueless, like that's not the only reason why he's like his ankles gave up. It's crazy just to think it's just eating habits and training habits. It's all encountered together.
It's just like I can't think of another player. I can't think of another player that's declined so badly as Eden Hazard did when he went to Real Madrid. Unless you guys have players.
I can't personally. I mean, you look at when he
dropped hard.
Kaka did drop hard. True.
He
yes.
dropped hard.
He got injuries as well.
Yeah,
but Kaka had some decent. Kaka had a decent.
You could argue better. Yes, you could argue because Hazard's on the floor.
I don't think he did have a decent thing at Real Madrid at all.
No.
I just said a bit better. That's it.
I can't remember him having.
Well, wasn't Kaka was there when Mourinho was there, wasn't he?
But Kaka was signed in the same summer as Ronaldo.
Yeah. So like, didn't Mourinho come like the season after, and he preferred Mesut Ozil?
Mourinho came in the 10-11 season.
Yeah, he preferred Mesut Ozil was the number 10, not Kaka.
And you
they signed Mesut Ozil. Yeah, they signed Mesut Ozil that summer, and the other German guy,
Khedira.
They did have Khedira. He was a good player. He was then.
Yeah.
That midfield
wasn't Schweinsteiger. No,
no,
Schweinsteiger was
Schweinsteiger.
That midfield three. That what was it? Ozil, Khedira, and Alonso. That was phenomenal.
Di Maria. Shit.
He was on the wing.
Yeah.
Right wing.
I don't remember who was in the Mertesacker. No, I remember. Who was in the midfield? I can't remember.
Why are you thinking
I can't remember. I remember that team distinctly, and I knew Ozil was in there, but Ozil was like a later signing. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember, man.
Ramos.
Ramos and Pepe and Casillas.
The right back I just don't pronounce. But
do you guys remember what years that was? Was that 2011, 2012?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah, it's around those type of years, yeah. I was quite young then. I was still like in secondary school. But yeah, like I just remember Kaká's drop. Like honestly, it's between him and Kaká. Like Kaká's drop off was that's the only player I can really think of, and how big of a player Kaká was. Kaká was the top of the world as well. Like I remember United really wanted him too. It was true, right?
Player.
Andrew, was it true? Because I remember United really wanted him. Was in
I think most of the world wanted him.
Speaking,
it was close to it.
Speaking of United, Sanchez had a pretty big tail off.
Pardon?
Man City were close to signing Kaká for over 100 million.
Wait, was it close to Man United?
No, Man City.
He said City.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh right, okay.
This is in Champions League. This is the 2011-2012
Are we looking at Eden Hazard? Because
Kaká.
Oh, this is just as depressing actually.
What do you mean? I mean, he's he was benched a lot. Obviously,
he wasn't even injured. That's even worse. He wasn't even injured. What the fuck?
But I mean,
he just preferred Ozil.
In this season, he had 8 goals, 16 assists.
It's still better than Hazard, but he wasn't. Hazard had a massive injury issue. That's why he. If Hazard didn't have injuries, I don't think he would have done nowhere near as bad, of course. But
the problem is, though, Marshall, this wasn't memorable.
Jesus
Christ. Time at Madrid wasn't memorable. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like this season, meniscus, a knee injury.
All right, there we go. It's had the Hazard effect.
Yeah, this is the 2010 season where I'm assuming is this the season he joined, or was it the 2009 season?
No, he joined the season before.
Yeah.
2009.
I loved Kaká too, man. Kaká is such a good player.
This isn't good either. This isn't that great either.
Not for attacking player.
That's what I mean. He's fine at Real Madrid. It's not memorable.
Wait, pubic. Wait, did I say pubic bone?
Yeah, that's that.
Even the Mason Mount injury.
It's real, guys.
God damn.
Oh wow. All right, so yeah, his time at Real Madrid wasn't that impactful either. It's more than Eden Hazard, obviously, as we can tell. But like, he was a little bit of a letdown at Real Madrid too. He was really good when he was at AC Milan, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
15 goals, 11 assists.
Well, the advantage that Real Madrid had with Hazard is that they were already grooming Vinicius Junior to be the future at that position, the left wing.
Mm-hmm.
And Vinicius Junior was pretty much under Zidane. He was a meme pretty much, but then when Carlo got him, he really kicked on, and now we see the player he is today.
I don't rate Zidane as a manager. Like Carlo is just like different. Like I know Zidane won the Champions League 3 times in a row, but like I don't rate him that highly as a manager. Still, I think Zidane just very lucky what team he had in front of him, what could do a lot of the work, basically for him. We literally had Dentail win the Champions League.
Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of that Real Madrid team is just keeping the egos in check and pleasing that lot. So Zidane was that player one time, so he knew better than anyone how to do that.
No, yeah, that's the only best thing about him.
But yeah, like I mean, so Chris, you think 30% of the reason why his career declined, we talk about Hazard, was because of maybe lack of discipline and training and
I think
and all
that's
that.
fair. Because like Andrew said, I completely forgot how young he started. I knew he started young because of Lille. Like I remember a sign for 30-something million, I think it was. Like I know I didn't actually really hear of the name until literally we was in for him and signed him. I said, who's this Eden Hazard guy? And I looked at highlights of it because that's how I did it back 10 years ago. And the guy on the ball I thought was so good. And I said, we have this type of player at Chelsea. He's gonna be so good in the Premier League. The Premier League won't deal with it.
And just look at how good his first season was at Chelsea, and this is
man of the match, as I remember.
Now this is the really annoying thing, because nowadays when we buy a player, it's like, we got to give him a year to adapt. And just look at how Eden Hazard came into this league, and mind you, he wasn't even fully physically developed at this point, because you obviously knew him in later years. He packed up a lot more muscle on his lower half of his body, but back then he was a lot more skinny and explosive, and he changed his game up once Mourinho got there. So he wasn't even that. Yeah, go on, Andrew.
The issue with that statement, because I agree, look at the players he was surrounded by. Even with the older ones coming to an end, they were still experienced. They were still culture of them winning things. Still a very experienced squad. Do you know what I mean? The type of squad that allows a young player like Hazard to have a year to find himself. You know what I mean?
Guess so. Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
You okay?
That year when he came in, that was when my Mata just went mental. And had like 53 GMA.
Oh my word!
You know what I mean?
True.
He just went mental. Never seen
I
it.
couldn't
Never
remember
seen
how
anything
many
like it.
goals that man had. And I can't believe we got rid of him. Like, we're
No,
like, yeah, we don't
the
need
one
you no
thing
more.
I don't like. Well, the thing that. Side note, with getting rid of my Mata was obviously getting rid of my Mata. The manager got rid of him, then used him loads of times at Man United.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
We're
makes
like,
no
that's
sense.
it. What the fuck, Jose
What
Mourinho?
the hell?
Same thing with
Why do you wanna use
Lukaku,
him?
right?
See, that's when I wanted Roman Abramovich to step in and actually go, no, we are not selling
Yeah.
this guy. You cannot sell a literal 2-time player of the year like that. You got half a century of GNA. I don't care. Make it work.
You know,
what I mean?
Mourinho was a bit weird like that because he did the same thing with Lukaku. You know, binned him off at Chelsea and then used him at United.
Well, I
know Lukaku was at a lower level at that point, but still,
lot
like he
younger.
proper binned him
Yeah,
off.
but he
I know.
signed him at United.
Yeah.
signed
Yeah,
him
that
at
too.
United.
But
Yeah, he signed
Jose doesn't really like to have like really young players like who maybe not that good at the time. Like he doesn't have a lot. I don't think he has a lot of patience with that.
I mean, Hazard was like 22, 23 when
Yeah, but
Jose had
Hazard.
him.
Yeah, I know. That's why I say not like that good at that. If you're not good at a
Yeah.
young age, I don't think he's got much patience. But with Hazard, he was
To an
already
extent.
proven it in the French league. He already won the league with Lille. Like the record, the stats and all that, the CV was already back in Eden Hazard. Like when he came Premier, and his first game at Chelsea, he correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was against Sunderland or something, or a small team. We won 2-0.
He got that
And
assist
now
for
it's Wigan
Ivanovic.
away.
Yes, and he was man of the match, as I remember. Frank Lampard was with him in an interview.
He got
saying-
the assist, and I think he won the penalty that Hazard. Lampard scored.
Yeah, I
So-
think he won the penalty too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. That's why he's man of the match. But yeah, like
But
sorry.
that goes to the fact about how the squad was built back then. Even under those times where we were inconsistent, it was still an experienced squad for him to come into and settle. You know what I mean? So
that's what I missed about it. We had
Now-
a lot of experienced players, and then we had some youngsters coming in. Obviously, some good youngsters. I mean, and yeah, like now it's a bit different time.
yeah. So, but you know, I mean, Hazard was just it's just that tree. Him and Matt and Oscar, those 2 seasons, or that season, sorry, was just unbelievable. Unbelievable that season. Like, I mean, we had an actual. I just think if we had an actual striker, what we could have done that size, even as inconsistent as we were, if we had an actual striker and not a broken down Torres, we don't let the stats fool you, people. He scored a lot of goals in the Europa League that season. So when he said we scored
He
over
scored
20
in Boot,
goals, a lot in the Europa League that season.
Golden Boot winner.
But yeah, if we'd had actual striker, my God.
Well, you know, we fixed that the next season. The only different, you know, we got rid of Mata, but you know, the way Hazard and Costa would.
Seasons,
I thought it was about
two
two
seasons because we brought Eto in. He's now still at Torres.
Oh, I like Eto did.
Oh, I remember there was just one goal where they linked up in the box, like when Eto backflicked it to him. Oh my God, do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I also remember
what
the
game
bit
was
where
that?
that was against Newcastle.
That's unbelievable.
I also remember a bit where Hazard fed Eto, and Eto did his best not to score and even fell over right in front of goal. And Hazard had to pick up the pieces and siphon it in. That's what I'm talking about. But an old man Eto who was still
Yes,
good,
old man
but
Eto.
well past his sell-by date. But like,
Oh
we
yeah.
didn't surround. We gave him.
You
we gave
had
him
Demba Ba back then as well, didn't we? Right?
I'm taking
Yeah,
I'm
Demba
taking
Ba.
that type of Eto over like the strikers we've had over the last few seasons for sure. That
Yeah,
Eto
and
still
you
got it
wonder-
in him a little bit.
And it's like you wonder why. He has such small assists. Not small assists, but it should be well over 100 assists. If we actually had a guy who could put the ball in the back of the.
And you even look at, like later in the Chelsea career when he had like Morata and Higuain, you know, that was just dreadful.
Yeah.
And Falcao. We had Falcao. Don't forget Falcao.
Oh yeah, Falcao in 15. Oh God.
Yeah, but that season he was Hazard didn't.
Well, he didn't really help himself there, to be honest, Chris.
No. What a man, though.
Before we move on to the Paul Pogba topic, I'm going to ask a silly question. And I say it's silly because I think I know the answer you guys are going to give me. If Hazard were to come back to Chelsea in the form of coaching or staff member, we're taking it?
I'm taking it. They can learn two things from Eden Hazard, I think.
I mean, if he wants to start training the youngsters, I mean, in terms of under whatever ages, then fine. But I'm not doing this. He's in the main. He's in the main team. I'm just not.
That has a hilarious irony to it, doesn't it? How Hazard didn't train and comes back to be a coach.
Yeah, that'd be the irony. Yeah.
That's fair, actually.
I don't know though. Right?
Too much.
Listen, if Hazard wants to do it, and if he takes it as seriously as he probably could have taken his career, then by all means, because who better?
I would love to see the
Comes
image
back to
of
train
him.
Sterling.
I would love to see the image of him berating someone for not trying hard in training.
Oh,
You know I mean, the image of him actually, and them looking at him going, "Are you for real, bro?
We know your
The
story.
urban legend is you hardly trained, yeah." That's true too. Yeah, you might not wake up early. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I don't think he would actually want to do that, Andrew. Though, will he?
I don't think he strikes me as the kind of guy who, like, when he retires now, doesn't want to do the coaching, the managing. He just strikes me as a guy who, when he's done, he's done.
Sit back and get fat on his rocking chair.
Watch football.
On his rocking chair.
You just watch football. He just loves the game, but not from
R9.
Maybe be a pundit. Maybe be a pundit or something.
Well, that'd be interesting. Get Hazard in for a Monday Night Football or something.
We just know that guy is going to get really big in the next few years.
Oh my god!
No training, just eating burgers, his favorite food. Like, he's gonna be enjoying life, and he's gonna be like, the fat R9 and all that. Like, he's gained a lot of weight, and that's fair enough, of course. Like, he does whatever he wants. I think he'd definitely be at Stamford Bridge. Pardon?
The irony if he turns into like some type of fucking bodybuilder now. That'd be the
Oh my god!
He could do it. He could definitely do it. Yeah. He can gain weight quite easily, so he can definitely do it. I was gonna say,
he does like a Fernando Torres, where he's now like absolutely like
bulked. He's rich enough. He's rich enough to hire his own personal trainer, right? Yeah. So he can start any time during the day he wants. You know what I mean? 3 p.m. Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, that'd be alright. It's 5 p.m.
I mean,
yeah.
I would love to see Hazard come back to the club in some shape or form. It'd be great.
He can come on in the ground, like watching it at Chelsea. You see Eden Hazard's face. I see it as that, like, he just coming at the ground or something just to watch Chelsea. Because he's definitely a Chelsea fan at heart as well. Like,
I'd love for him to
just as much as Madrid, I think.
I'd love, because like now he's obviously retired. I'd love for him to come out before a game and like just say goodbye, really, because like Chelsea is what he's going to be remembered for. Madrid was the big move, but it just didn't work there. Lille, he wasn't there long enough. Chelsea is his legacy. I'm sure he has that in his heart, and that's what the football world will remember him for as well. So I think it'd be great to see him to come back and just get a send off, for his career from the fans that he'll be remembered most for playing in front of.
That'd be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing him as a talk in front of Stamford Bridge again.
Yeah, no, but obviously, wishing the best to Eden Hazard in his retirement. Sad that we couldn't see him play more. Sad that it ended so early, but grateful for all the moments that he's given us as Chelsea fans, far and away, and everyone that was able to see them in the pitch, everyone that saw him through the TV. But yeah, I mean, big up to Hazard, and I hope the retirement goes well. Hopefully he eats his heart out, and then maybe we see him in a position at Chelsea at some point. But all right. Let's bring up the next topic, which isn't Chelsea related, but when it comes to global football, it's a pretty big deal, and it's arguably one of the best players in the world, one of the best midfielders in the world, now being scrutinized in a sense, reasonably so. So let's go ahead and bring out some tweets just to get some details on what's been going on with Paul Pogba, caught cheating, essentially, doping So, breaking for Fabrizio Romano, Paul Pogba has tested doping positive also to backup sample today. So, if you guys don't know, he took a random drug test and the result came out with positive tests for testosterone. For those who don't know, testosterone is a natural hormone produced by men, or humans in general, but it's produced mostly in men. And if you take it externally, it can boost your performance when it comes to putting on muscle, exercise, and athleticism. So
should just lift some weights.
well, positive. Also, backup sample today. Juve will now decide how to proceed with his contract as Pogba faces risk of long-term ban. Moving forward in the next week, Paul Pogba is having every cream and supplement in his house analyzed as he seeks a defense to fight what could be a career-ending doping ban of up to 4 years. Then, moving forward, Paul Pogba risks up to 4 years suspension. This sanction could be reduced to 2 years if he demonstrates he took the doping product unintentionally. Juve have already suspended the payment of his salary and could now decide to terminate his contract following the positive test. And the last tweet we have for you guys here is Paul Pogba is currently receiving just 42,000 euros a year from his 8 million a year contract. Pogba is banned from having access to the Juve training ground, and the midfielder also no longer has the right to come into contact with club employees. Ladies and gents, obviously not good for Paul Pogba. People, listen, despite what I may or may not think of Paul Pogba and where I stand on him as a player, he is recognized as one of the best midfielders in the world. Won the World Cup with France back in 2018, guys, right?
Yeah,
that was 2018. That was the year they won, right? Probably one of the best midfielders when he was at his time in Juve.
Hey, was he first year.
That's
no, this
okay,
is
so
a recent. This is more recent, I think.
That's the thing I was gonna say. Like, obviously, we know this is a random drug test. How long was he doping for? We don't have info, obviously, on that, but like, this is the thing that when you get caught for this stuff, and this is so parallel to John Jones, the MMA fighter who some of you may or may not know, who had such a bright and brilliant career. And now when you get caught for this type of, performance enhancing drug, it now puts into scrutiny and questioning what you've accomplished your whole career. So I guess the first question is, do you guys think it was intentional or not?
I was not intentional to like his chef put it like I don't know in his sandwich or something. I don't know how he didn't do it intentional, but like I feel like he just cheated. I don't know the full truth of it, but like definitely didn't help him in his career later on anyway, for sure. Like he was still playing poorly, so that didn't help. So I don't know how much he used or whatever, but I don't feel sorry for people who actually, if he did do it purposely, blatantly cheat, I don't feel sorry for his career ending like this way. It will put a nasty stain onto his name as well, because he'd be the guy known for doping, like for football, like and all that type of stuff. Obviously, very talented footballer. Like Pogba is one of the most talented midfielders, I think, for a good while. But I actually felt sorry for him as well at Man United, because I felt like he had a poor team around him half the time. But yeah, he cheated, and now he's got to deal with like the shit what's gonna come afterwards now. The public eye and like being banned. Like he's got to deal with that.
So
Oliver, or
Andrew, if he can't prove his innocence, if they give him a 4-year ban, that's him basically done.
Yeah.
He's 30. I don't know 100%. What he's been. I think he's been really injury plagued since he's come back.
Yeah, he joined Juve last season, and he basically didn't play like he played a handful of games because of injury.
Yeah. So I don't know. We've seen this in the past. Sometimes people have taken the wrong thing, or it's been supplied.
Isn't that what Onana got done for when he was at Ajax still, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He got done for some sort of drugs.
If they do anything more than a year, it's hard for him to. My thing would be they might ban him for 4 and then he appeals it and then they half it to 2 or something like that. But even like 2, it's really hard being out of the game for 2 years. You can train all you want. You can
at his age too.
do everything, and at his age, 32. I don't know, man. I don't even know why he would need it, really. You know what I mean? He's a guy anyway, right? So
that's the thing, but it enhances your performances. So it makes you. It probably would help him, get stronger.
Unless he was trying to get fitter quicker or something like that. If he was trying to take it.
Yeah, it could be that too. That's what chat's saying. Yeah, get fitter quicker. Oliver, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, there's not enough evidence for any of us really to make an assumption of whether it was intentional or not. I hope it wasn't intentional because he has all of the gifts, both physically and technically, to be one of the best players in the world. And I'd like to hope that he hasn't stooped to this low and been thinking that he needs that extra push to get back to a certain level, because he definitely has it within him. I just don't know. I mean, Pogba's another one. I said Hazard was like a positive what if in terms of what he could have been. Pogba's a lot more of a negative one, where it's like, he just totally didn't achieve much ever since he went to United, and that is a shame, because that is another player that really, at his best, he got you off your seat. But now, like Andrew said, with a 4-year ban, that's effectively him retired. There's no way he comes back from that and plays at a high level ever again, if at all. So, yeah.
I mean, even with a 2-year ban, just because this is the way I look at it too. I listen. I think he did it intentionally. There's no way. Like, it's so hard to, because the thing is. This is the second test he took to prove that he didn't do it, and the second test came positive as well. And I don't think there's any other way for you to ingest that other than, I think, I could be wrong here, guys. I think you have to inject it to get it in you. I don't think it's something you can like swallow in pill form or something, or in powder form. And I know with the John Jones thing, it wasn't, it was another drug. It wasn't testosterone. The John Jones, they found like a very, very, very like, he admitted to taking the performance enhancing drug, which caused him to be suspended. And then years later or something like that, like a few years later, they tested him again, and he came out positive again, but it was such a minuscule amount that it's no, like, there was research to back that sometimes when it comes to the certain drug that he took, it flares up from time to time and will come up on tests, and sometimes it won't come up on a test. So it was one of those things. I'm not hearing evidence. I'm not hearing any news from the test saying that like, oh, this is a small amount, like this X amount of measurement found in it. Like, from what we can tell, it's like, okay, we full blown saw you took testosterone, and you use it to perform your to enhance your performances. But going back to what I originally wanted to say was, even if it's 2 years, even if it's found like, okay, you didn't do it intentionally, you still did it, we're going to give you a 2-year suspension. Other than Saudi, I don't see a serious club wanting to come in and bring Pogba into the team, considering, like Oliver said, ever since Man United, this player's career has been filled with all sorts of drama and scandals, and just what manager looks at this player and is like, yeah, I want Paul Pogba.
The thing is, he doesn't even
now question why Jose didn't even fiddle with this guy too much when he had him under his reign.
I mean, the thing is, he doesn't even have like the international side to go back to again, because they've got their midfield they're sorted. They don't even have to play Kante anymore because they've got Tchouaméni, they've got Rabiot, they've got Camavinga, they've got Antoine Griezmann. You know, all these guys. You know, they can do the job themselves, and they're still world-class players in their own right. So there's no need for a Paul Pogba. You know, we saw that in the World Cup when neither him or Kante were available, and Tchouaméni and Rabiot carried that midfield.
They did.
This is 100% not true. USADA tests the shit out of so many fighters. Back in the day, before USADA, you'd be right, Metal Face Doom, but nowadays, all these fighters get tested rigorously. It's very hard to not get caught for steroids.
Michael Bisping fought with a fake eye, and he didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's endangering his own goddamn health.
He's an English fighter.
They found out he had
He's an English guy.
They found out. If they found out that I was fake, he wouldn't have a UFC career.
Yeah, I mean, TJ Dillashaw just got suspended. He was one of the greats, and he just one of the champs, and he just got suspended recently, like within the last 2 years for steroids. They catch people. You cannot run away from USADA. USADA will catch you, and it's randomly too. They'll wake you up at 6 a.m, knock on your door, and be like, "All right, piss in this cup. You're getting tested." You know, like they give you no time to prepare.
Get the dog.
Dude, they do it with footballers. They randomly take one guy, and he's out there for like 2 or 3 hours after the game finishes. Your team goes home. If it's an away match, the team won't wait. They'll go home. This guy's got to go back by himself.
You remember? I think it's Pogba actually in Premier League got tested. I remember I see on TV that they asked him to test him, and his face like, for fuck's sake, like he didn't want to get tested.
Yeah, because he knows it's going to be like. Because he knows it's going to be a lengthy process. That's why it's not going to be like, you know.
Maybe
he did so good that game. Let's test him.
10 minutes later, go. You know.
No, but like at the same time, like, you know, you take the risk. You hope not to get caught. You get caught. Now, you know, it's like, again, now I'm questioning his whole career. Like, how much was he taking back when he won the World Cup? Back when he was doing Juve, was he taking any back then? Like, this is what I mean. Like, I don't think so either. But now, if you want to put your tinfoil hat on and see that this is the kind of guy Paul Pogba is, he will take drugs to enhance his performances, or, you know, performance enhancing drugs to you know, get the edge on players. What makes you think maybe he didn't do it back then? You know,
but like we mentioned
back then, but
like we mentioned previously, someone here mentioned that could have been to even enhance his recovery, and you know, the injuries have been a much more of a recent concern. He certainly wasn't dealing with this many injuries in the Juve 1.0 stint, you know, back before he joined United. So it could just simply be him trying to get the edge on his own recovery, which would be a more recent thing than it would be in his younger days.
I mean, it could be getting an edge on the recovery, sure, but again, like, you got to be fucking careful with this shit. You're going to get randomly tested. Like, I think this is just reckless on a player who has such high status and, you know, so many eyes on him, like, and who's riddled with previous bust-ups with managers, previous bust-ups with the team, previous bust-ups with the media. You have all this scrutiny on you, and you decide to think it's safe to take the risk on trying to get the edge on recovery by taking testosterone. I think that's beyond me. And, like, don't get me wrong, listen, many players, when they get older, as you know, most men, when they get older, the production of testosterone does reduce. But usually the players that are doing that are retired already. They're not in the game. They take testosterone replacement therapy to get their testosterone back up to more youthful levels so they can, you know, lift or do whatever they want, stay in shape, look good, whatever. This guy's still a player, and he's doing this stuff, and it's just so damning. Like, it's one of those things that, like, Paul Pogba, for as good as he was on the pitch, I never really rated him because of the amount of things that was, you know, being brought up outside the pitch, how unprofessional he was outside of the pitch, and how often his name would be dragged through the mud whenever, you know, some rubric here, something he said in an interview here, something he said then and there, getting caught here. And it's like, this man just, his career could have been so much more if he had just buckled down, put his head down, worked hard, and said the right things, did the right things, instead of, you know, just being at the end of a story in all the wrong ways, you know?
Hello.
Hi.
What's happened? I just got back.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. It's fine. But no, it's just Paul Pogba. I just think there could have been so much more with his career if he had just, you know, taken it more seriously. It would be crazy to think Zlatan and Silva just woke every morning like nothing happened the previous day.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that, Vic. I'm sorry. You lost me there.
I
it's
actually wanted Pogba when he's rumored to leave United, but I'm so glad we didn't get him. Actually, that was a player.
Oh god.
No, because he is a talented midfielder, like many of us agree on. Like he's talented, he's strong. He's got technical. Well, yeah, his technical ability is unreal for a midfielder. One of the best at one point. But yeah, like he fell down a cliff since he joined Juventus. So I'm glad we didn't get him. I never really cared too much about Pogba though, to be honest. He never really like.
You could say since he joined United, really. I mean, I don't think he did much at United, did he?
No, because part of it I thought was the reason of like bad players around him mainly. Like he didn't have like a talent around him. That's the main reason I didn't really fear Pogba, because Pogba isn't that type of player to do everything and actually like get him results like on himself, because he isn't that type of player. Or Graham Souness, you know, he said he's an awful footballer, but that's not true.
I don't think it is true either. As much as I don't rate Paul Pogba's career, I don't even think that's true. I recognize that he is talented on the ball and
crazy actually. When did he join United? Was it 2016?
I think it might have been, or maybe the season after.
And he cost 89 million, and
yeah,
that's a lot of money. And people say what Enzo Fernandez cost, like 150 mil, is a lot today. Like that's so many years forward from 2016. So
that was like the first like market inflation event. Like it was that, and then Neymar that really put the market out of control.
It did, yeah. Like I couldn't believe how much he cost, because that was like 2016, 89 million. Too much.
But he went through the United Academy. I just realized that.
You didn't know that?
He was United. Then he left for.
Ferguson didn't like him.
He left when so Alex was still there, and he went to Juventus, and you know he played under Conte's management, and you know that team was phenomenal.
And then they paid him back for 89 million.
And then he went to Juventus for free again.
Yeah.
I mean, granted the second one hasn't been to their advantage, but yeah.
No, but it's free. Can't really argue against it.
So
I think that just underscores United's terrible transfer policy, and a lot of that is what got in the way with Pogba. You know, he never had the midfield partners in order to express himself in the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess it's safe to say we're all in agreement that even if it's a 2-year suspension, this is essentially closing the book on Paul Pogba's career.
Now. Retire him.
Yeah, I agree.
His career's over.
Yeah.
He's finito.
It sucks to see it, but at the same time, like,
I don't feel
you should know better. Oh, this guy joins as this man.
Oh, jeez. I was gonna say I don't feel bad for the player, because he's earned a shit ton of money over the time. He can just retire like Eden Hazard, but in the worst way, even worse than Eden Hazard's retirement, actually. And this way is way worse. So you don't want to end like this, of course not. But only one he can blame for himself is Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, if he did this on purpose, his own stupid failure.
That's the other thing too. Like, there's ways that you can do performance enhancement. That, I mean,
yeah, on the training
look,
ground.
I don't know what performance enhancement you can take that gets not tested or goes under the radar on a test, but I'm sure there's things you can do that would not get caught by a test.
Yeah, the training ground. Work hard on the training ground like Ronaldo. That's what you could have done.
Okay, that too.
You okay?
That was such an arse answer. I'm so sorry, bro. That was not it, man.
He's
At least he was here for most of the stream.
Well, sadly, you know, we all have lives, innit? You know
You're taking testosterone right now as we speak?
No, he's
He-
restarting.
Yeah.
He's restarting.
He was
FIFA
recovering.
streams. He's
Yeah.
restarting FIFA streams.
You've been
Yeah,
sleeping.
because
You've been sleeping. I can tell by your hair. Tell me what lives.
Oh no! My hair's fine.
Your hair's
Right.
What's it called?
it looks like you've been
It's
I
sleeping.
just-
testosterone. That's why the
He's
hairline's
realising-
so far back.
It's like
He's
your bed hair.
realising he's not.
Like,
He's
sticking out a
realising
bit.
No.
he's not the level
Oh, that-
ultimate.
check my
He's not
stream.
the level ultimate on EAFC 24. He's not that level.
Yeah, he's played
That's
so
why.
much about it. Talk about lives. How many much more games you played than me? Like double them out.
I did not expect Ultimate to
I
be that hard.
told
Though, 'cause
you.
it was actually pretty easier for last year, but like this year I was like,
Ahmed, you may have had competitor mode on. I was trying to tell you in the comments or in the live chat. I was like, bro, make sure that stuff's turned off.
yeah, because like it was crazy. I'll be real, because it was bad.
Then you tried foot, and then Timo Werner just
part of the
couldn't
issue,
finish.
Part of the issue
What's
also was
happening
the fact that Chelsea.
You
Chelsea's
bought
team-
Timo Werner.
No,
What's about FIFA team now?
No.
No, that's all my team, Andrew.
No, the actual FIFA
Marshall's
team.
flying inside here.
The actual FIFA team is like full of like silvers and like
What
low
you done
golds.
here, Ahmed?
So they're quite unusable to use actually on career mode. It actually makes it harder to use, like a lot harder, bro.
Alright, change
So-
the thumbnail.
I'm gonna bow
Right.
out. I'm gonna bow out. I'm gonna
Go for it, Andrew.
sort
We're
my,
gonna close it off very soon,
things
anyways.
Yeah,
No
we're
problem.
do your thing,
That's
man.
cool.
Speak to you.
Big up. Thanks
Hey.
for coming on. We'll see you soon, man.
Laters.
Ahmed, now that you're here, you can tell us your opinion on the whole Paul Pogba situation. Do you think it was intentional? Do you think even if he serves a 2-year ban, do you think a club is going to pick him up? Is his career done? Overall, what are your overall thoughts on this whole situation on Paul Pogba?
I think in regards to football, obviously, I don't know. We don't know if it's intentional or not, but
What do you think, though?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'll be real when it comes to Pogba. At the end of the day, it's not easy. Obviously, 2-year ban. I probably think he probably might be able to play again at like a Arabic club or like a Saudi club, whatever you want to call them.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that happening. But I think, to be honest, like his career's already been hurt quite badly by a lot of the injuries that he's had at United, if we're being honest, right? And the fact that he keeps on getting injuries might have just been a reality that maybe he may have been thought that he may have been given supplements to use, and then they turn out to be testosterone.
So you think it may have been an accident?
Yeah, I generally think it's an accident because he's had to go through like rehab so many times. He's obviously gone through. I think players get tested quite regularly. I would argue, if I'm not mistaken. So
I believe it's randomly drug tested.
No, but I do. But the thing is, he's already been. What's it called? It's already happened before. You know what I'm saying? If you get what I mean, like he's been tested before. It's for quite a while. If he was treated with testosterone and for a long time, and that was the case, believe me, you mean, mate, that would be even worse for him because it's like you've been using testosterone and you still get injured.
Yeah, I think. Listen, again, I am not a bodybuilder. I'm not like an expert on performance enhancing drugs. But if I am not mistaken, I think the only way to take testosterone, or one of the only ways I'm familiar to take testosterone, is to inject it into yourself. Adrian commenting, if he's innocent, I reckon he wants to clear his name. Might not be about returning to play in the future. Going down as a cheat is not ideal to end a career. Yeah, you're totally right.
Exactly.
Totally right. No, and I could see him, making a whole PR tour just to like clear his name. But at the same time,
I've just googled it, by the way. There apparently are testosterone pills. You can take it in pill form as well.
Chef gave it to him.
Chef gave it to him like a dog medicine, like stuffed it in his burger or something.
They put it in a sandwich by accident, man. They're supposed to put a different
See,
pill.
well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know, man. It's just listen. This is the shitty part, right? Ahmed, you know John Jones, right?
Yes, I know him very well.
So it's almost like, obviously, different situations, different sports, but it's almost comparable to John Jones in the sense of you have a career full of scrutiny and drama and all this, and then this comes out. And it's almost hard to believe that you didn't do it on purpose, you know? And then when John Jones comes back after serving his ban from testing positive for whatever performance enhancing drug he took, and then the test comes out that he has a small strand of the drug still in his blood, it's just, people aren't going to believe you. People are going to call you a cheat regardless. So it's almost like there's a history to back that he may have done this on purpose when it comes to Paul Pogba. All the stupid things he's done, all the stupid decisions he's made in his career after joining United, you know, like it's just all the stupid things.
But what has he done at United that's wrong, bro? I'll be honest. I don't think he did anything wrong at United. A lot of what was happening at United was out of his hands, bro. If we're being honest.
Yeah, I already said
the things he would come out and say in the media,
bro.
No,
again,
I know. I'm not saying
like,
performances.
No, but again, bro, the stuff that was coming out of United, you all know, bro, was happening even now. It can't just be. It can't be him, in my opinion, because this stuff was happening before him and it's happening after him now. So you know, I think it's quite wrong of us to be saying that that it was him, because it's continuing on non-stop. Yeah.
But again, I'm not.
And the other thing that you have to remember is, yeah, when you've been brought up as one of the 93 points, whatever it was at the time, which was like the richest before, and Neymar came in, Neymar got sold, and you know the hype they came around with, yeah, people are gonna use that scrutiny to do it to you. Like, look at Lukaku, someone we all of us say don't like, right?
Yeah.
Look at the way he was getting scrutinized when we brought him for 100 M's at the club.
It is like in 2016 time now, 89 million is a lot of money for a midfielder, because people even talk about Enzo today in 2023. 115 million is too much. Like back then, it's a big difference in inflation.
No,
still.
back then he was the most expensive player.
Yeah.
1 year.
When I first saw it, I thought that's crazy, because he used to be a United player for free, and then he comes back for 89 million. It's like, I think if you just go include that 89 million back then, that's like 150 million today easily. Like that's a crazy amount of money. But
so like I just want to you know just iterate, Marshall, if you know a professional player, ask him about Pogba's situation, you'll see a different perspective. How so, Vic? I just want to iterate that I'm not like scrutinizing Pogba's performances and whether he lived up to his price tag at United or not. I just think that there was a sense of professionalism that Pogba lacked when he was at United. You know, there's a reason why there may have been a reason why, you know, Ferguson didn't rate him when he was there at the club at the time. There's probably a reason why Jose Mourinho, despite wanting the player, didn't play the player as often. You know, I think there is a bit of a correlation.
But the problem is, bro, if we're being honest, right? When Mourinho was at United, he wasn't, you know, the old Mourinho, right? He wasn't able to do, what's it called? He wasn't able to be the type of manager that he was at Chelsea and Inter, at Real Madrid as well. If you're being honest, and at Porto, and we saw that even when he went to Tottenham too, where he wasn't able to get along with some of the best players there too. So again, you know, I think you're looking at it in the wrong way, in my opinion. I feel like Pogba is quite innocent in a lot of the stuff that's happening. I'll be real.
I mean, listen, in due time, we'll see where this testosterone came from. He's getting all of his items at home tested to prove his innocence, which by all means he has all the right to. But I'm just saying, like, I could see how players could be desperate enough to take that kind of a supplement or that kind of a performance enhancing drug. But at the same time, like, you know, why is he well, I wouldn't say he's the only one, right? There have been players that have been caught with that or with the performance enhancing drug, like Onana. There have been other players too that we mentioned. I can't just remember off the top of my head, but like, you know, all these players get tested regularly and they pass with flying colors. Even Ronaldo, like, people have all the right to fucking test Ronaldo. He is not human, but he doesn't get positive tests for performance.
I wonder how Kante got tested.
I'm sure these players get tested a lot. I mean, listen, when you're a footballer, you're one of the greatest athletes in the world. I firmly believe that. To be a footballer, you have to be one of the greatest athletes in the world, because of the amount of rigor and the amount of hard work that goes into it, the amount of you have to put your body through. I get it. I get it, but it's just very. I think it's very rare for players to be caught doing performance
It
enhancement
wouldn't make any
drugs.
sense
At
for
least in
Pogba
real
doing
world.
now though, because he's in his 30s. Like he's made it as a player. He's done what he had to do with Juve and United. Like he's done it all. I just wouldn't make any sense to do it now. But who knows? If he did it on purpose, then he's got a nasty stain on his name. If he didn't do it on purpose, I hope he's not guilty and he clears his name, because that's not right as well if he's not guilty.
Pogba did what he needed to do, but got caught. Move on. There's a bunch of players that do what they need to do and pass a drug test. I think whether or not it's innocent or not, even Paul Pogba, I said his name wrong, sorry. Even Paul Pogba, whether it be someone in his camp, a personal trainer, that's the other thing too. Like, okay, let's say it got slipped into his food. You know that the people that make his food is Juve, right? They have like a dietary plan. These guys hire professional chefs. They hire, they have a dietitian that makes their meals so that they are at the most fit possible. It baffles me that like one of these persons that he pays so much money to actually slipped him a drug. That just seems so unlikely to me.
I'll just say I wouldn't put it down to the club at all, because in that case, why wouldn't there be more positive cases in Juventus as a whole club? Because if you're talking about the club chefs, like they'll probably all have lunch off the same chefs, and then maybe for like other meals they'll have their own personal.
And not even that. Like, do you guys like? Okay, people want to say like, oh, this is Juve plotted this so that they can get away with not paying Pogba his salary or whatever the fuck. Why would they do that? Like, look at you. You don't think this looks bad on Juve? They've already undergone so much scrutiny. They almost got relegated last season because of all the stuff with the debt that they had. I believe, am I saying this right? Like, sorry, like, shut me up if I'm saying this wrong, but I believe it's something to do with their debt. They got penalized by Serie A and all that. Why would they want more scrutiny after that?
Don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I'm not looking to make a conspiracy about it was the club that did it. I don't. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm not really one to speculate on this anyway. As much as we're all giving our opinions on whether we think it's intentional or not, I'd like to personally wait for what the sport court and their findings are, and the actual investigations that to conclude first.
Of course, no, and of course we'll obviously see what happens. But Vic's saying here, Michael Obi was 100%, but got released by his Kuwait club because he couldn't keep up. NKW Googled the age Michael Obi retired from football. It's more than being a top athlete. You can be a top athlete, but still not be able to keep up with people younger than you. Look at Ronaldo at Man United. Like, he is a top athlete. You can't deny that he's a top athlete, but he just wasn't up to scuff at United. He was slowing them down. He held them back to a certain extent. Yes, you can look back at the first season he came back and all the goals he got, but at the end of the day, he was hindering the way United was playing because he was a crutch. They had to service him. They had to play to his style, and he wouldn't adapt to the style that Erik ten Hag wanted to play. And so Erik ten Hag dropped him when he came in. Despite what you may or may not believe from that. So the same thing can be applied to Michael Obi. And not to say I don't rate him. I think he's a fantastic player. But Adrian, let's not forget, Rio Ferdinand got banned 8 months for missing drug tests.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, you could say Juve conspiracy, all this and that. I think that's a far-fetched way for you guys to try to cope with the fact that Paul Pogba didn't cheat. And I don't know. Whether or not he did it or not, we'll see. I'm inclined to believe it's hard to not get caught doing that stuff. It's hard to accidentally ingest it. Who knows? I feel like if you accidentally ingest it, then we would see more positive results. Players sabotaging each other. I just think in the world of football, like, it may look nice from here, but like at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to make it, right? And you got to do what you got to do to get ahead. And I could see players like trying to sabotage each other if it was that easy. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see what happens with this, and obviously, I think it's safe to say Paul Pogba's career is over, and it sucks because you have the Hazard way of ending, and then there's this way of ending as well. So.
Yeah, hopefully he's not guilty of like what has been done.
Obviously,
I wouldn't want to see him go. I actually do like Pogba as a player. Like he's a very talented midfielder. I've always enjoyed watching him on that ball because I think he's been unreal on it at times at United. But yeah, hopefully he's not guilty. If he's guilty, then if he did it on purpose, he has himself to blame for all this.
When you are the greatest midfielders in the world, when you are one of the greatest midfielders in the world, it is your responsibility to take care of that, work on that, maintain that status. And considering the amount of scrutiny around this player in his whole career, especially at Man United, how often his quotes would be taken and scrutinized by media, you should know by then to be better about this. You should know by then to surround yourself around proper PR and proper people who will take care of you. I'm not making excuses for this guy. He took someone's advice. You think he took advice from some random stranger in the middle of, I was about to say Turin. Is Turin where Juve is?
Yeah.
All right, I did it. Was take someone's advice. Like, hey, Pogba, you're injured. Like, take this. Like, come on now. He's not going to take advice from a random person. He obviously took advice from someone he trusts.
I will say though, I'm not gonna. You mentioned how he's a world class player. I'm not gonna put that on him right now because like I can't remember the last time he had a world class season. And as much as he has the ability to be world class, I don't think
19.
There's just not. Yeah, maybe, but that was one. That was one out of how many of the last however many seasons. It's just there's not enough recent evidence of him performing at a consistent level. Whether that's been he's been fit and performances have been lacking, or whether that's been through injuries, I just don't think that standard applies to him anymore.
It's just again. And Vic, you're coping so hard, bro. You don't understand the pressure and the mental struggle for Pogba to recreate his Juve's performance. It wasn't random person. That's the point you're missing. It just backfired. That's all. You think Pogba is the only player that has to go through this?
Hey, look at Eden Hazard, man. Much struggles he went through the last few seasons. I'll see him doping or whatever, like stuff like that.
Exactly. To
try recover.
So, like,
there's many players.
Let's not pretend like Paul Pogba is the only player that's gone through this. Many players go through scrutiny.
Lukaku's going through a lot of struggles right now.
Lukaku,
I'm going through no struggle, mate.
He's actually,
he's just struggling with like his own consistency. Oh, I don't like to talk, and now he comes out with quotes like, "Oh my god."
That guy, listen, but that guy goes through the struggle that he puts himself through, regardless of the fact he does go through his struggles. It's just self-induced, you know what I'm saying? But, he doesn't get caught for this shit either. Like, again, like, I get it. I'm just so focused on one perspective. Dude, I get it. Like, if you're trying to desperately to get your career going, yes, I can understand why he took it. But again, you can find advice from people in the industry, right, that can find loopholes for that and not get caught on a test, like I'm sure many UFC fighters do, right? And there's ways to just this. Do you really think?
I was gonna say another player.
Like when you balance the risk and rewards here, the risk and rewards. You are Paul Pogba, such a big name in this industry. Like, I just wouldn't risk it. It's not worth the risk. Just recover how you got to recover. Find different methods. Don't get caught for cheating, because if you get caught, that's it. Your career's done. Like, yes, you could say I'm focused on one perspective, but at the same time, like, the other perspective is I get it, but it's a dumb move. It's a dumb move. It's desperate. And I listen, at the end of the day, Vic, if you're in his position, are you desperate enough to take performance enhancement drugs and get caught? Or would you rather just sit back, try to recover, and take a paycheck?
I'm taking that second option, man. Bigger paycheck.
Take the paycheck. Take the paycheck.
I don't know. I don't know what went through his head. the whole situation. I just don't know. Don't know
If
the
he
guy.
did it on purpose, obviously, and if he did it
Yeah,
on
yeah.
accident, then you should have been like, didn't he also get robbed by his brother, like bankrupt? Like, wasn't his brother always stealing money from him?
Really?
No, that wasn't it.
No. Okay, I didn't hear that.
There was another
so-
scandal too with someone close to him.
His brother was trying to say that. Excuse me. His brother basically was trying to make the point that apparently he was using black magic on people. That's what he was saying.
Ah, that's it. I
Jesus
heard.
Christ.
Yes, the magic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, he was trying to blackmail him over that apparent information.
Oh yeah, Pogba's got black
That's-
magic powers now.
That's insane.
All right, let's just
bro.
move on that one quickly. Okay, we
That's
don't want to
so
get
stupid.
into race relations now.
Yes. So I'm just saying, like, when you have even your brother doing these types of things on you. Oh, I was thinking about Mbappe. Mbappe had like close family, I think, taking money from him or something like that. But
Sadly happened. Yeah.
when it comes to Paul Pogba, when you have these things happening within close families, you got to watch your back, and you got to like keep the people that you trust as close as possible to you. So, listen, for him to take advice and be bad advice, I don't know. I mean, it's easier said than done. Obviously, surround yourself by good people that you trust, and then that happens to you, and your brother is one of those people. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm being too harsh when it comes to that aspect of it. But again, it's a damn shame that this happened. It's a damn shame that his career may possibly end as a result of this. So we'll see what happens, man. But Pogba must have been tested multiple times. If he thought something would never come up, he'll never do it. It backfired.
Yeah, let's just move on, man. Please.
Maybe. All right, we're gonna end it because we already talked about Eden Hazard. Yeah, you joined at the end.
You want to talk about Eden Hazard?
Nah, you know what? That's not. I've said my piece on Eden Hazard before.
That's
It's
what we
just a
did mainly
reaction.
on.
We're just reacting to those two stories. That's it.
Yeah,
fair
two
enough.
stories today.
Yeah, but all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it here. Let me see if there's anyone to even raid because you know, it is the international
Flawless
break.
White, who
Not too
knows?
much content happening. Pardon me. I don't even know if Flawless is on. That's the thing.
He's about to stream in half an hour, no?
I guess we
Conor
can
Gallagher.
bother Don Hassan.
What is there talk about Conor Gallagher? He's shit. Well, he's not shit, but he's mediocre.
We need to talk about Conor Gallagher.
What's he? Has he done something bad?
Good test. I'm just
Except
kidding.
for like he's trying to kick a football, but like he hasn't done nothing.
Kidding,
too
I'm kidding.
serious.
But, all right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and raid. This is football. Don Hassan. He's doing a call-in show, so you can go and banter him if you want to go. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll be doing more streams before I head off to my vacation as well, and before we end international break. But you guys, thank you for being here. Make sure to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to hit the bell notification so you are notified when we are live. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're on our way to 2.3 subscribers and then on our way slowly to 3K as well. So you guys go ahead and help us achieve that goal by subscribing if you haven't done so already. Be sure to check out the links down below to everyone's content, including Ahmed, who is also on his way to 1,000 subscribers. So be sure to help him out in achieving that goal as well. Then leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about Eden Hazard's retirement, your best Eden Hazard memory, or what you think about the Paul Pogba situation. If you think he took it on purpose, if you think he's innocent. 27 of you guys voted yes, that he did it on purpose. 67% of you said yes. But we'll see, you know, in time, the truth will come out in time. That's what they always say. And then, as always, big up to our members and big up to the proper casual and higher tiered members. And that would be OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, A. Solomon, Maru CFC, Enzo, Chelsea Till I Die, AP, and Iwani. Thank you guys for your support. And thank you for the support of anyone else who is a member of the Casually FC crew. But thank you so much, guys, for being here. We'll catch you again very soon. And as always, stay casual. Have a